Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Welcome to another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast. In today's episode of the Sales Software Review series, I am with Eric, founder of Laxis. Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great as well, Eric. Thank you for asking. Today we have a very interesting episode. We're going to talk about one of the two products from Laxis, which is the AI SDRs. This is a product specifically for sales leaders in SaaS and tech that want to automate their outbound campaigns. We were discussing earlier how this could also be used in some B2C campaigns, maybe by finance or marketing agencies. But today, we're going to just focus on sales leaders out there. So, Eric, tell us a little bit more about AI SDRs. What is this?
Sure. So AI SDR essentially is an AI automation tool to help the sales leaders to automatically to reach out to their potential customer through a series of combination of emails and phone calls. And all the emails and phone calls are generated by AI.
Incredible. Now, this is something new, Eric. What would you say are the alternatives that they were using before this new technology AI reps was developed? Just normal reps? Was there maybe another piece of technology that was supplementing part of the AI capabilities? If you can shine a light over there.
Yeah. So usually, or before AI SDR comes out, the sales leaders or the tech firms needs to build a tech stack, including the B2B data vendors, right? Email service, phone call service. And they also need to hire a human SDR to operate all the data, all the email service, phone call service. With Laxis AI SDR, it's all in one and all automated. So later on, I can show you it only takes 5 to 10 minutes to set up campaign, and all the outbound is automatically running and bring you more meetings.
Incredible. Now, some people in the audience may be hesitant, right? Is AI ready to replace a human? But there definitely are some inefficiencies as you were describing let's say the status quo, the typical process for running an outbound campaign. There's a lot of technology that you have to implement. The implementation takes time. Connecting the email, connecting the right dialer, having the right capabilities to record, to analyze the calls, etc. Then coaching the reps on the right methodology. All of it is very time consuming. Are there any other challenges that your clients have been eliminating or solving now that they use Laxis AI SDRs?
I would say the major challenge for our customer is for scalability. So many of our customers are smaller firms. They may not have the budget to hire an army of SDR. So AI SDR really gives them the scalability they want. So that is very important. Some of the customers may have some hesitance about AI in general, right? But I would say AI is not going to completely replace human being. It's helping us to scale and accelerate.
Interesting. And it seems like what it's trying to take care of or help with is rather the time-consuming tasks of prospecting, of trying to get someone's interest into booking that first meeting, not necessarily replacing that first discovery meeting. So why don't you go ahead and give us a quick demo, show us some of the features that, again, sales leaders in these SaaS and tech firms that you mentioned may not be very big, maybe small to medium businesses. What are the features that they really love about your AI SDRs?
Sure. So first of all, as Eddie you already mentioned, right? So Laxis is more than just AI SDR. We have a platform that includes AI meeting system and AI SDR. So today I'm going to skip the AI meeting system part. So you can see on the left side we have so many features. I'm going to skip most of them and only focusing on AI SDR for this episode.
Perfect.
Okay. So you can see in this dashboard, we already have 2 campaigns running for ourselves. One is targeting the founders and co-founders in the tech industry, and the other is targeting the sales leaders in the tech industry. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you how to create a new campaign, but to save some time, I'm going to use a sample campaign to start. So this was the campaign I was doing a demo for a financial advisor. And on the first page, Laxis will collect some information about your product and service, including company name, product name, campaign name, and your goal. So usually there are two goals for tech firms. One is asking a customer to trial product or book a meeting. And then we do request a landing page, so where customer can explore more about our product and service, and also calendar link, so your potential customer can book a demo meeting with you. And then we ask for an agent name and agent title, and also an agent voice. So we have picked 6 popular voices, and later I can show you how it works. And then we asked for the product or service description of your company and also the key benefit. Certainly, if you have some testimonial, we highly recommend to put some evidence or testimonial here. And for the first page is where Laxis collect all the information to put into use with AI. The next page is where we ask you about who your ideal customer is. For example, the customer I was just talking to, they are in the financial service industry, but you can also choose to any other industry, the software, computer software. There's so many industries that you can pick from. And also job title, you can choose any job title here, and you can also enter something yourself. And also company size, you can choose different company size you want. And then you can see how many, you can preview a campaign. So we have a database of 700 million customer profiles that we aggregate from multiple data vendors. And for this particular campaign, we found 34,000 potential customers matching that criteria. And those are real customer profile with a link in. For example, if we open this one, so you can see this is a real customer, right?
Incredible. Yep.
And here we're generating a sequence. So what we do outreach is we do an outreach for email and phone calls. So on day 1, we send out the first email. After 2 days, if there's no response, we send out second email. And after 2 days, if there's still no response, we make a phone call. And if the customer doesn't respond, we leave a voice message. And if there's still no reply, no response from customer after another 2 days, we will leave another the final email. Mm-hmm. So you can see here, those are the previous emails, the 3 emails here. And you can also customize your AI prompt for each email. You can write very specific writing instructions for each email. And usually I will do a live demo of a phone call capability with our customer. But since we are doing this webinar, I'm going to show you a recording.
I hear it.
Okay. I was not information. May I speak to Eric, please?
Yes, Eric speaking.
Hi, Eric, and I'm Ashton from Laxis. We help the opportunities accelerate revenue growth with AI automation. Do you have a few minutes to chat?
Sure.
Great. Laxis AI SDR automatically reaches out to your ideal customers through personalized email and phone calls. It can book 10x more customer meetings for you at only 10% of the normal cost. Will this sound interesting to you?
Yes, that sounds interesting.
Would you like to see a demo of how our AI SDR can streamline your sales processes and drive growth?
Sure, let's do that.
Great. When would be a good time for us to schedule a demo?
How about tomorrow morning? Actually, can we do Friday 10 a.m.?
Got it. I'll send you a calendar invite on Friday at 10 a.m. Looking forward to it. Thank you for your time, Eric.
I love how the example includes the interruption when she was about to say, yeah, okay, but then you gave it a different time. I love that example.
Right. So let's continue the product demo here. Let me reshare my screen. So at this point, you are ready to launch your campaign. You can click here to launch the campaign. Once the campaign is launched, you can go to this dashboard and see the performance of a campaign. You can filter out by campaign names, right? You can filter out by time period. And for example, this is a real campaign we are running targeting the founders in the tech industry. And we have really good results. So we have reached out to 2,500 founders in the last 30 days. and our email has over 50% open rate. So we all in the industry usually is 20% to 40%, right? So we have above average or email open rate. And we also do phone calls. So we called 1,000 of them and 181 are answered. Our total response rate, we consider when people reply, click links, make a phone call together, we have 12.9%. So about the whole outbound. And here you can see the everyday daily activity. So you can see how many emails are sent, how many are open each day, and how many phone calls are made. Here's a detailed history of all the activities. You can click to see what the email being sent is. So I need to say every email is different. So we personalize each email we send out to each person. So every single email is different. We are not sending like a marketing broadcast email. So we try to simulate a human SDR sending out emails. So we try to, each email is different. Each email is sent individually. So that's why we do not end up in spam. And that's why we have high open rate and response rate.
That can also help with account-based marketing strategies or email campaigns where you have a lot of contacts from the same company. They should all, even though it's a first touch, they should all be receiving slightly different versions of that first touch.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic.
And also another thing is we have integration with all the major CRM like HubSpot, Salesforce. So all the contact information, all the email activity, phone call activity, we automatically update it in your CRM. So later on, you can use all those information to follow up.
Beautiful.
So
yeah, this is very good, Eric. One of the things that jumped to mind is you mentioned, CRM integration in order to save the notes and the activities and keep track in the CRM that the buyer is used to using. So that's familiarity. What about pushing any other, because I see here LinkedIn, are there any activities that happen on LinkedIn or is this primarily phone and email?
Very good question. So we are actually working on a LinkedIn outreach. So we plan to launch it in a few months. The ideal case is that we have multiple touch points through email, phone call, LinkedIn, text message, right? So we already have email and a phone call. So we are working on LinkedIn as well.
Incredible. One of the things that I noticed that would be an interesting recommendation there for the system or the, let's say, LLM that you're using for AI would be an instruction to always remove the "I hope this email finds you well" sentence from emails, because I know that sometimes in some industries that right there from the get-go could be a little bit of it can impact the click rate, right? Now, this is very interesting. I want to ask you, what are the tasks, deliverables, or people involved in setting up Laxis AI SDRs? And how long does it typically take a company to reach full productivity having these dashboards populated like someone is working every single day?
Right. Let them just go through the whole process of setting up a campaign. For our customer, it literally takes them 5 to 10 minutes to set up that campaign and then to launch it. We will handle all the domain setup, email warm-up, everything within 24 hours. So for our client, it's very easy, just 5 to 10 minutes of that time to set up the campaign.
Incredible. And I guess the better they have mapped out, let's say, a playbook with personas, objection handling, value prop statements, the easier it'll be for them to just copy paste into the right fields, just as you showed us a few seconds ago. Really interesting as well that you warm up the email domains. If, let's say, I want to run a campaign, but I don't have yet a parallel domain in order to avoid hurting mine, is that something that I can purchase through you guys as an additional fee?
We do it for you. So it's already including our service. So we do everything for you. And again, for our client, we've tried to make it as simple as possible. All they need is just give us the information about product and the SCP.
Fantastic. Now, let's say that someone in the audience is a sales leader. They're considering this. They want to give it a try. They may be hesitating. Can AI SDRs really do this? They just saw the demo. They see the feature. I felt that even the language, the voice sounded very natural. It didn't sound very robotic, which was something that maybe if you have seen early demos, you may be aware of, and you haven't seen the way Laxis is performing today. But what would you say are the support channels if they're considering to implement Laxis AI SDRs? Would they have email, phone, meeting support? Is there like a dedicated person they get with a plan? Help us understand that, please.
Sure. For all our AI SDR customers, we have set up Slack channel to have like a direct communication. And we are also very responsive on email. So we usually get back to our customer within 24 hours as well.
Perfect. Less than 24-hour time frame for response times, Slack and email support. If at some point they needed to have a meeting, is that an option?
We can always jump on a call with our customer, and but we usually that is slower because we have so many meeting booked on our calendar. So jumping into a meeting, definitely we're happy to jump on. It's usually just maybe a couple of days delay. So Slack and email is usually faster.
Right. Depends on the type of the query. There is the option should it be needed, but ideally Slack and email will be faster. Awesome. My last question in that case, Eric, is going to be, what are the KPIs that your customers should use to evaluate the success of their AI SDRs, and what quantifiable outcomes should they be expecting?
Sure. So it's the same thing they expect from their human SDR, right? So typically when they hire a human SDR with $7,000, $8,000 per month, they would expect that 3 meetings per week, right? So essentially, we try to do the same thing, but with less cost.
And have you seen that your customers are running Laxis AI SDRs as a replacement to their existing SDRs, or more as an enhancement, and maybe set those existing SDRs to take the meetings, but have your AI solution take care of the outbound and these manual follow-up and tasks that may be time consuming? What have you seen as a typical scenario?
Sure, there are 2 scenarios. One scenario is for the smaller firm or startups. The founder is doing everything, right? They usually have less than 10 people. The founder is doing the sales. So they hire AI SDR as a first SDR. We also see some like bigger firms, they already have like a 10, 20, 30 SDRs in-house. But because the turnover of SDR is very high and it's expensive and time consuming to hire SDRs, so they brought AI SDR to help them quickly scale up.
Perfect. So either as a first SDR of a future larger team, and I've seen definitely, as you mentioned, SaaS leaders, sales leaders in SaaS. It could be a one-man show running the sales team. So this is how they can quickly amplify their team. Or if they have a team of humans that they just want to scale in a more cost-effective way, that may be the scenario where they have the talk track mapped out, everything mapped out, and it's just, hey, activate my license of AI SDRs with Laxis and map everything out. Should be up and running in a couple of days. Wonderful. Well, Eric, this has been a very informative episode. If you are a sales leader in the audience considering whether AI SDRs can work for you or not, is there some sort of free trial or freemium package or model that they can use, Eric, to give your product a try?
We don't offer free trial because the operating cost is very high, because we need to pay data vendor, email service, phone call service. We can certainly not give it for free, but we are happy to give like a 30% discount for the audience here.
There you have it. Huge discount and already a lot of savings versus what you would be paying a human SDRs in tech stack. You get the database, you get to set up email domains, warm them up, automate them. Phone, email is there, LinkedIn coming soon. Eric, this has been a great episode. I hope to catch you in a future one where we can see your other solutions for the other target audiences that you also help.
Thank you so much, Eddie. Thanks for having me.